Good morning. It's Saturday, November 16th. I'm Stephanie Bertini in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thanks for joining us live here on the Fox Local app. Right now, the NYPD is investigating a deadly stabbing on the Upper West Side. Police say they received a call for an assault inside an apartment building on West 96th Street yesterday. Officers found the victim, 46-year-old Alfred Soto, stabbed to death inside one of the units. So far, no word on what led up to the violence and no arrests. Rudy Giuliani has reportedly turned over more than 24 prized watches to the former Georgia election workers who won a defamation case against him. He owes them nearly $150 million after falsely accusing them of tampering with votes in the 2020 election. A judge ordered him to turn over his assets. Taking a look at the forecast now, dry, sunny and windy today with a high of 60. Congestion pricing is back on and set for January 5th. But a number of lawsuits against the plan are still ongoing. Fox 5's Teresa Priello has more on where these suits stand and if they can actually derail the tolling plans.
I always have, and I always will, fight to put more money in the pockets of everyday New Yorkers.
Governor Kathy Hochul may need that fighting spirit as she battles not one but 9 lawsuits over her controversial congestion pricing plan.
If Governor Hochul and other New York officials think this is, and the MTAs, generally we think that this is a freight train that they can roll over the region. Okay, well, I'm here to say no, this ends here.
Former New York City Deputy Mayor Randy Mastro is representing the state of New Jersey in their efforts to stop congestion pricing. The basis of their federal suit is an incomplete environmental review.
It's ludicrous to suggest that congestion pricing, this unprecedented scheme, first of its kind in the nation, doesn't require a full environmental review.
Specifically, they say the review does not account for nor pay for the increased congestion and pollution on the Garden State. Staten Island is fighting on the same premise.
What's sad is that their own environmental assessment that they did do is showing that the congestion, the pollution isn't being reduced. It's just being moved from Midtown Manhattan to other parts of that borough and the outer boroughs like the ones I serve.
New York claims an environmental review was done. Opponents believe they failed to do their due diligence. For now, the Hochul team is forging ahead with a January 5th start date.
I'm going to rely on the attorneys who are telling me that we are on solid legal ground.
While some experts agree, in this case, the governor can do what she wants.
I just think legally that the governor and the MTA, they have the authority to put in place wildly unpopular policies for terrible reasons.
On the Upper East Side, Teresa Priello, Fox 5 News.
One of the most vocal opponents of congestion pricing, Congressman Josh Gottheimer, just announced he wants to be the next governor of New Jersey, saying his focus is to represent the middle class and promising to cut taxes and the cost of living. New Jersey's current governor, Phil Murphy, is unable to run again due to term limits. Controversy surrounding President-elect Donald Trump's choice to lead the Department of Defense. Back in 2021, Pete Hegseth was flagged as a possible insider threat by a fellow service member due to a tattoo on his bicep that's associated with white supremacist groups. But Hegseth, who is an Army National Guard veteran and current Fox News host, said he was unfairly identified as an extremist due to a cross tattoo on his chest. Trump has also officially tapped North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum to serve as the Secretary of the Interior and his campaign press secretary Caroline Leavitt to serve as White House press secretary. Donald Trump has appointed Stephen Chung as his new communications director. Chung worked on both of Trump's previous campaigns. He also worked in the White House for part of Trump's first term. A Rockland County family had quite the wildlife encounter. They alerted authorities after spotting an alligator in a creek. Here's our Richard Giacovis with the details.
It's not what anyone would expect to see wading above the frigid waters of a creek in, yeah, this isn't Florida. This is Rockland County, New York.
Alligators in New York over here in this Rockland County. I don't believe this over here. There's too many loose other people around here.
How did it get there?
That's what everybody said. They don't know.
That's real?
Oh, it's real, all right. The tiny hamlet of Garnerville in West Haverstraw is all abuzz tonight after someone came to the rescue of this 4-foot-long alligator after he was spotted just above the water. Haverstraw police used a catch pole to snag the reptile and hand it over to the Hudson Valley Humane Society in Pomona.
Don't feed them, don't give them water, just keep them warm. So that was our top priority.
Anne-Marie Gaudio runs this nonprofit rescuing animals of all kinds. Yes, she's had pigs and ducks come through here, but a gator?
I thought he was joking, honestly, because he's a friend of mine, but he's like, no, I'm serious.
Gaudio assumes someone dumped the gator in the creek, abandonment under state law. Police are investigating. The Humane Society staff are keeping this little big guy warm, but they don't have the experience to care for him long term. So cue Mark Perpetua, a reptile expert.
They're legal in Pennsylvania, so people go for their vacation and they come back with a baby alligator, and then when they get like this, they're not sure what to do with them.
As for what to call him, Gaudio came up with Philippe, or A1E Gator. But the locals, well, they just hope this was a one-and-done scenario. In other words, later, Gator. You don't see it every day, right?
No, definitely not. That's crazy.
Aha, you thought I was going to be sitting here holding an alligator, right? Fooled you. Instead, our alligator friend is on his way up to Saugerties, upstate New York, to live with Reptile Encounters, a program that educates young school children about reptiles. Hopefully, it's a lot warmer there, and he'll officially get a name. For now, we're in Garnerville. Richard Giacobas, Fox 5 News.
St. John's basketball is off to a hot start, ranked for the first time in 5 years. But Sunday, head coach Rick Pitino will go up against a coach who knows him better than anyone else, his son, Richard. Fox 5's Tina Cervasio picks it up from here.
The St. John's men's basketball team will take its top 25 ranking into Madison Square Garden on Sunday to welcome the reigning Mountain West champions, the New Mexico Lobos. But this is not your typical matchup.
He's a terrific young coach. I'm real proud of him.
Rick Pitino is talking about his son, Richard, who is the Lobos head coach.
He's got a dynamite team. He just upset UCLA, who was ranked in the top 25. He's got a terrific basketball team. We think we're pretty good.
This is the fourth time the father and son are facing each other as head coaches. Dad has the 2-1 edge.
Well, I was at Louisville, and he was at FIU in Miami, and there were no illusions of grandeur at all. He knew he was getting his kicked in pretty good. And he was just very thankful that we could give him $90,000 to come in and play us for his program.
But Richard Pitino is catching up, leading the Lobos to a Mountain West championship last season and a trip to the NCAA tournament.
Well, he's a lot like Billy Donovan. I wanted him to go with Billy Donovan and learn a different way of coaching than myself. We use different motivational tactics. We're very different in the way we motivate. He does a great job.
But there is more to this game than a basketball legacy. The matchup is being billed as the NYC Hoops for Heroes Classic, benefiting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, a cause that carries great meaning to the Pitino family. Rick Pitino's brother-in-law, Billy Minardi, a bond trader for Cantor Fitzgerald, was killed on September 11th.
He lost his uncle. I lost my best friend in life, with so many other friends in 9/11. We are so proud of Tunnel to Towers, what they do for people, what they do for veterans, what they did for the people in need after that terrible incident, that catastrophic thing that we all faced. So to emphasize this game for both of us, who suffered so much with the loss of Billy Minardi, that it's real special for both of us.
St. John's is donating a portion of game proceeds to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, committed to eradicating veteran homelessness while making sure America never forgets.
When you lose a best friend in life, I spoke to him the morning of 9/11. We just came back from Pebble Beach on a family golf trip. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of him.
Sunday's tip-off between St. John's and New Mexico, Pitino versus Pitino, is 12 noon. In Queens, on the campus of St. John's University, Tina Cervasio, Fox 5 News.
And let's take one more look at your forecast. It will be sunny and windy, which won't help much with our brush fire risk in the area. We'll see a high of 60 degrees. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Stephanie Bertini. Have a great day. And remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming right here on the Fox Local app.